Today we're looking at the BF20mm. In particular, we're looking at the vertical axis, the Z or Z axis. Here we can see the carriage with the head removed, and we can see that the carriage is attached by these two bolts to the assembly behind it. Now what's behind it is not so easy to see. It is completely blocked off by the tower. It's just a little slot in the front, and we really want to understand what's inside that tower. So we've pulled it apart, and from the top we've removed the spindle and the hand wheel. The hand wheel, there's two bevel gears, one on the hand wheel, one on the actual spindle itself. Those two hand wheels make the spindle turn when the hand wheel is turned, which in turn moves the carriage up and down. And we've got the top plate, and as you can see on the top plate, there's some very heavy and substantial bearings, because the whole weight of everything is hanging off that bearing. Here's a quick look at the tower from the top, with the spindle removed and the top plate gone. You can see the 4 bolt holes where the plate bolts into it, but you can also see the big hole, big round one, which is at the top of this image. This is where the hand wheel fits. Let's have a close look at the hand wheel assembly. The nut has already been removed. Once the nut comes off, the hand wheel just slides off like that. It might be a little bit harder. And we can see the bearing block. Bearing block contains a big bearing, and there's a slot here for a key, and we can see the opposite end of that slot on the hand wheel quite clearly. So that's how the hand wheel connects to the bevel gear on the other end. When it is assembled, the bevel gear goes in first, and it actually fits through the hole in the side of the tower. And once all that is in and is mounted, the actual hand wheel gets attached to the shaft with the keyway and then a nut on the outside. Another quick look at the top plate, where the bearing is located, that lights everything up. And here's the business part of the Z or Z Axis, which is the nut and the screw nut. And the screw nut has got a pin on it. That pin is an interesting design. The pin allows this block to slide in and out, so therefore the carriage, or the distance between the carriage and the board screw, can actually vary. It's a pretty close fit. It's 20 millimeters, and you can see how that block can slide. You can also see the 2 holes in the front of the block, which is where the 2 bolts go that we looked at right at the start of the video. Now, BaronJ from the Metalworks forum has pointed out to me those 2 grub screws that you can see here on the carriage. Those 2 grub screws actually contact the block that sits right behind it in those 2 spots, as indicated there. Apparently that is there to compensate for the hole that you see not being perfectly perpendicular. And when you use those grub screws, so here's how it assembles, and you can use those grub screws to change the adjustment and the angle up or down, because those grub screws are sitting on the upper and the lower side. Obviously this is very much exaggerated, but that's what the grub screws are there to adjust. And as you can see here, there's some indentation marks. So if you see some of those indentation marks on yours, that's what you need to do. You need to adjust those grub screws. Let's have a quick look at the comparison between the different board screws. That's the X-axis screw, and with the ball nut, or the nut that goes with it, there is the Y-axis screw and the screw nut. And that is the Z or Z axis screw, the vertical one. with the bore nut on it. One of the things that is quite apparent even from here is the difference in the pitch. You can see they've got a very different pitch. There's also a big difference in the types of nuts that we have. You can see one of them has got a slot in it. So this one is the X-axis nut. It has got a slot in it, which allows for an adjustment to minimize the backwards and forwards play in it. The same thing is on the Y-axis. If you have a look at the Y-axis, you can see that as well. Here's a close-up to see the difference in the thread pitch. It's about 2 millimeters on the X and Y, and about 4 millimeters on the Z or C axis. So there's no adjustment for the play on the bore nut or on the screw nut for the Z axis, and that's the big difference between the X and the Y and the Z or C axis. I hope this short video was useful to you. If you're like me and you're considering turning it into a CNC machine, or just you need to do some repair on the Z or C axis, it is certainly worthwhile knowing and understanding what's inside. Thank you for watching.